Hi, today we're going to be talking about the book Pies from Nowhere, which is going to be leaning into Delaware's participation, which is working together as a group. There's a lot of great connections, not only for building background knowledge, but also for civics ideas like democracy is a big group project, or the idea that working together gets things done. I'm going to follow along with the slideshow for you to learn about this great book. So Pies from Nowhere, How Georgia Gilmore Sustained the Montgomery Bus Boycott. I really love this book because the Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King make an appearance. It really is Georgia Gilmore, which is a name that I had not heard of prior to this book and her involvement. So we're starting to think about this idea of working together in a group. So with this warm up, what is the problem in this photo? How could this problem be solved? Who would do it? We're talking about the idea of and introducing, if this is not the first time they've already know this, how people participate and make change. So in Delaware, this is specifically tied to the standard. These are the vocabulary within the standard. So they need to define the objective. They need to divide responsibilities. They need to work cooperatively. So we're going to try and link that back to cleaning up the parks. You can come back to that now and see how in pairs or whole group, how they could use that to those ideas of working together in a group to clean up this park. This is important to kind of get them primed for understanding not only the standard, but the expectation of what they're going to be asked to do after they read this book. So now kind of moving into the content of the book, this is a painting called Walking. We don't want them to necessarily know that this is about the Montgomery bus boycott yet, but we're doing an abbreviated See, Think, Wonder using this painting and image, which is from the Smithsonian African American Heritage and Culture Museum. We'll next introduce the book that they're going to be reading and learning from. It's important if they don't know already some of these words: segregation, civil rights movement, and boycott, since they'll be coming up in the book. This is a video, so make sure you preview it to make sure it works in the context of your state. And essentially the video just introduces those words. We're going to then have them review what those words are. So it's because in Delaware, this is a kindergarten standard, I'm not putting numbers next to them. So what I want them to do is match the word to the definition. So which one, the heart, the sun, or the circle or oval is segregation, which one is civil rights, and which one is boycott. Just kind of tying back to and extending that video. So I want them, as they read the book, I've purposely lifted these words out. So as they're reading, again, you can give them like a hand motion. You can give them clap when they know the word or hear the word or recognize it in the text. So now we're coming back to this idea of the standard. So in Delaware, it is really about how people participate in a group. So we have a question here to help them think about examples from the book. So after the book, we want them to think about, define the objective. So these are parts from the book that gives them a little bit of room to jog their memory. So you could do this in pairs if you want, or whole group. So finding examples from the book about how they divided the responsibilities. So again, some examples from the book to help them. And then how to work cooperatively. And then these are some extension activities that are included about Rosa Parks' carpool notebook. So this was not only about drivers, but it was also NAACP workers. And you can find Georgia Gilmore right here on this bottom one, and that is her address. And if you go to her house, they have a nice big mark right there. So again, extending using primary sources and photos. These are some different questions that you could extend students' thinking and coming back to the book. And then ending with this quote: "You cannot be afraid if you want to accomplish anything. You got to have the willing, the spirit, and above all, you got to have the get up." And then you can expand that to this part: how can a group of people make changes in the community? So coming back to that standard, working together in a group. I hope you love this book as much as I do.